Oh, hey friends. Welcome back to another adventure. I'm Dustin with Dusty Outdoors, and this week we're kind of in central Wisconsin, and I have found what I believe to be just a gem of a spot. We're right here alongside a nice lake, which I'll show you in a bit. It has a fire ring, and it really wasn't even that bad to get down to. Let me show you around. So that's the road we came down. Once you get to this point here, you're presented with a Y in the road. So that way you can only go so far, and then there's a couple rocks there spaced out so you can't get a vehicle beyond that. I went down this way. As you can see, there's the truck camper. Lake is right there, and there is another little pull-off right here. When I was just up a little further on the road, I had just a smidgen of service, and so I checked the weather real quick, and I knew that there was a chance of some severe weather today. That chance is almost a guarantee now, and it looks like it's going to hit this area. So, with that knowledge, as kind of perfect as that spot is right there, you'll also notice there is a giant dead tree right next to it. Now, in a normal circumstance, I mean, just inherently when I pulled in, I looked at that, even on a nice, beautiful sunny day with no chance of storms. You gotta weigh your risk here with a tree like that, but as you can see, it's leaning the opposite way of the truck. So I would feel comfortable staying there, I guess, if there wasn't a chance of wind. But I really don't know which direction the wind's gonna come in at, so I may move the truck to over here, which in that case, you're then surrounded by trees, big trees. One of them's leaning right over the truck, but it's also alive. Well, I guess there's a portion of it that's dead, so. Now I have to weigh my options. The section that's dead on this tree right here is definitely not so big that it would like crush the camper into a pancake and create major injuries or even worse to me inside the camper, but it would definitely damage the camper. I think what I'll do, I have one more place nearby pinned. I may hop back in the truck, check out the other site that I have pinned. If it's better, we'll stay there. If not, we'll come back here. Instead of parking right there next to the super dead big tree, we may park down here in this little pull-in spot underneath the leaning live tree with a dead limb. And these are things you always got to consider when you're out doing this stuff, because this particular site, there is no service. I mean, I got no way to reach out. I do not have a Garmin in reach or anything like that, just because they're not cheap. And even once you buy them, you got to pay monthly for them. So that just isn't in my budget. This is in an area I've never been to, so I'm going into these sites blind. I don't know what they look like till I'm there. This particular site is absolutely gorgeous, and I will definitely keep it pinned. Let's go down here to the lake just to take a gander at that, because we may very well be coming back to this spot. These spots like this are out there, friends. You just got to put the time in on Google Maps and an app called OnX. I just have the free version of it. I do not pay anything for OnX, and it will tell you what's government lands and what's not. All right. Beautiful lake. Pretty well maintained little spot. Got a mowed path down that way too. Kind of mowed. And you know, in regards to the severe weather, it's not only dead trees like that. You kind of gotta keep in mind, or the live trees that are leaning with dead limbs on them to keep in mind. But even if you make it without incident through the night in the storm, looky there. There's another giant dead elm. Now if that fell across the road, now your road's blocked. You can't get out till that's moved, cleared, cut away. And those are all kind of things you gotta at least think about and consider your options. Now for me, I'm super unprepared on this trip. I do not have a saw with me, anything like that. So what am I learning from this experience? I should probably put, at the very least, a handsaw in the truck. Anyhow, let's go check out and see if we can find that other pin site, see what that looks like. We've made it to another spot. Way out here in the boonies, another car followed me right in. He too's just scouting the area, but we'll give him some space since we're the weirdos with the camera. As you can see, very nice little place to pull in, and obviously you can get a car back here. It was a little rough coming in and a little tight. I was definitely rubbing with the camper for sure. But let's take a walk down this way and see what there is. All right, coming down here. You can see truck's right up there. Beautiful lake again. The other gentleman's up there right now, but there's a little spot that goes right up in there. Looks to be a clearing into like a rustic tent spot. Okay, so we have a little area here. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Somebody's had a fire there. Oh yeah, here we go, friends. Guy could park the truck camper right there. And right up here. That would be really cool to be able to park the truck camper there. Have a little fire here. Man. Beautiful. I'm really wishing now that that weather wasn't coming in. That's just how it goes, friends. Finally find a couple good spots in Wisconsin, which a lot of y'all out west, you don't realize the struggles we got here in Wisconsin. It's really like a Midwest problem. We have very little BLM land where you can disperse truck camp. Very little. I just heard a tree, a big tree fall up in the woods over there. I'm sure the GoPro didn't pick it up, but it definitely happened. Man, look at that, friends. Kind of wish somebody didn't have a fire right there. I kind of want to park over there. I need to check if there's service, because on the way over to this site, I did have a spot where I had pretty decent service, and I checked again on the weather, and it's not good, friends. It's very high probability of high winds, hail, and tornadoes. So now I'm just questioning whether or not I want to stay here or not. I do have a little bit of service here. The other site I had none. This one I have 1 bar of service, but it also says 5G. If I can keep track of the weather here, I will stay here tonight. So I'm gonna go on my weather app, see how well it's working. So obviously we're the blue dot. So, I mean, really beyond this point here, the accuracy is probably questionable, but you can see we got some storms moving in. I think we're gonna have to do it. I think we're gonna have to stay here. I'm gonna move just the large chunks here real quick. So the road into this site was much more narrow. Definitely we're scraping on a lot more branches. And it was a little further secondary road in here. But man, once you get in here, it is a much bigger site with plenty of parking up here. But we're gonna get the truck turned around and get it down in there. We're gonna definitely hang up on some trees there, but we'll see. Well, it's still very hot out here. It's in the low 80s, 80, 81 roughly. And when these storms blow through, it's supposed to drop like 20 degrees. Just a pretty large cold front coming in, which would explain the bad storms. But I can't take wearing these pants any longer. Too hot. Definitely hearing a toad or frog or something making little, I don't know, kind of squeaking noises over here. So they must have had some rain here earlier. I know in my travels for work today, I definitely was driving through some rain. Now, I'm pretty sure we're going to be perfectly fine there. I don't think we'll be in trouble for parking there. Thankfully, there was, you know, a nice solid chunk of grass beside the canoe launch, boat launch, so we're out of everyone's way. If that piece of grass that we're parked on wasn't there and we'd have to block the launch, then that would be no good. I wouldn't park there. So this is quite a large lake, friends. I'll give you a little panorama here. Wind's picking up. And then I'll actually zoom in. So you can see it goes for a while, and it even goes way out there and to the left. This breeze coming in off the lake feels so good. Breeze is going this way. Oh. Well, I think this is officially the best dispersed campsite that I've been to on the channel. And I don't think there's even a close second. This is Town Line Lake. Town Line Lake here sits in the Chippewa County Forest. So this is a county forest. The first site we were at was O'Neill Creek Flowage, #1 access. And this is all in Chippewa County Forest. Wow, well, I'll say Chippewa County are doing a great job. I wish more counties would put up dispersed campsites in Wisconsin. I don't know why or what the reason is for the Midwest to be just so anti-dispersed campsites. I'm not sure. But friends, as you can see, we're losing the sun. Clouds are moving in quick. But boy, does that breeze feel good. Well, friends, we just had a pretty good gust of wind come through. Actually knocked my chair over. Just want to get some food cooked before it's too late, because these storms I think are going to blow in fairly quick. We just got some Mountain House chili mac and beef, and then Lauren got me this to try. No idea if it's going to be good or not, but it's Mountain House brand ice cream sandwich, mint flavored. I do have a little table in there in the camper I could bring out, but I think we can just get her done right here out in the elements. Okay, So that's in there. Now we'll let that sit for 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get my cheese curds and some chips out to snack on while that gets warmed up. So in my travels today, not far from here, maybe only 20 minutes on one of the main highways, 4-lane roads. I guess you could call it a freeway. I went past a roadkill black bear, which probably for the local residents up here is no different than seeing any other common road-killed wildlife. We just don't see bear a whole lot down where I'm from in southwest Wisconsin. We do have black bear, but it's not a very dense population. So in my entire life, I have only seen 2 for sure, possibly 3, but we'll go with 2. And both times they were very far away, and I'm just seeing them from the road. And then there was also, like, 4 or 5 other cars pulled over alongside the road watching it as well, simply because we just don't see them that often. So, but I do travel up here quite a bit in northern Wisconsin for work and northern Minnesota. So when I am up in these areas, I do see car hit black bear, unfortunately more often than I'd like to, or that anyone would like to see. But it's just every time I see one, it's like I got to take a double, triple take because we just don't see that. It's weird to go past a roadkill black bear. So these chips right here, friends, if you ever see them anywhere, they are so good. They're Old Dutch brand, and they're called Dutch Crunch, Parmesan and garlic. Man, they're good. This was one of my gifts from Lauren for my birthday, which was last weekend. I also got this awesome shirt from one of the girls, Ella. Ava, our oldest girl, she got me a really cool American flag Zippo lighter. I just got to get some fuel for it, but it's the American flag on it. And then it's got a deer that's also, it's got like a buck on it that's also colored in American flag colors. I got a Dutch oven that I'll be able to use on the channel. Never had a Dutch oven. And then I also got these cool American flag Ariat, I don't know what you'd call them, loafers. But anyhow, that was some of the things I got for my birthday. And I just love every single one of them. I really, really, really just have a great family, friends. I think I heard thunder in the very, very far distance. The way this little area is set up, it's like I can face that way and face lake. Now I'm facing you guys, but I still have lake like right there and the truck camper. Give you guys a little look. I mean, it's probably dropped 10 degrees already just since these clouds blew in. There's a monarch butterfly flying out there. So I'll take my phone. You guys can see what's behind me. I'll go ahead and show you what's in front of me. There you all are. And then that's what up in the woods looks like. And then there's lake there already again. This chili mac with beef is really good. I would say the Mountain House beef stroganoff and chili mac with beef are hands down my 2 favorite from Mountain House. I also have one in there that's lasagna and beef lasagna, and that one's edible. It's certainly nothing I'd write home about though. Well, I'm gonna finish eating this up and then we'll give that ice cream sandwich a try, see what we're in for there. So this is apparently ready to eat. Freeze-dried, and you eat it freeze-dried. Well, looks like it was definitely a ice cream sandwich that got freeze-dried. Let's give her a try. That's very good. No, you're not going to get the creamy ice cream texture. It's very much like a, kind of reminds me of like a wafer texture, actually. Sky's definitely starting to get darker over in that direction. So while I was sitting there kind of looking around, I did notice there was a little trail over here. So I figured before it was dark or storming, we'd take a walk down this trail and see where it takes us. So this is a tent spot. This place is really cool, friends. Check that out. Some firewood there. Not too bad for garbage. A little in there. Wind is starting to pick up, friends. Kind of the birds and everything have stopped chirping. Nature knows there's a storm on the way. So from this campsite, you got a trail there going down to the lake. You got a trail there going down to the lake. Looks like you got a trail going that way, going along kind of this finger of the lake that protrudes out into the woods that way. You also have a trail going up into the forest. And then this is the main trail down to like where you would park. And there's a super cool rock down here. America! I mean, this place just keeps getting better. All in all, this whole area is pretty clean. Cottonelle baby wipe. Unfortunately, oh, there's the end of the butt end of a shotgun shell. Well, friends, this is on my phone quick. So it might sound a little different, but it's just starting to rain here. Just kind of sprinkling. But I may have to head into the camper soon. All right, friends. Well, it definitely was sprinkled there for a little bit. And right back that way, you can kind of see where the clouds are. The GoPro makes it look much lighter, but the clouds are pretty dark right there. And it's definitely thunder. Pretty much a constant thunder rolling. I think this little storm right here is going to skirt just to the north of me. So north is that way, west is that way. But there is definitely some more stuff coming that looks like it's going to be more of a direct hit. I have everything picked up except for my chair. Got my phones in charging just in case, you know, it is getting quite windy. Wow. Just in case something happens, I want good battery life on my phones. And I say phones, friends, because I have my personal phone, and then I also have a work phone. One is AT&T and one is Verizon, which actually works pretty good because generally where Verizon doesn't come in, AT&T does, and vice versa. I'm just gonna start getting this put away so I don't have to do it in a downpour. Oh no, that was cool. And I know the mic didn't pick that up, but I have thunder in the background, and then way over there somewhere, there was just an owl hooting deep in the woods. definitely guessing out of the 2 spots we were at today, which that first spot was very pretty as well. Don't think it was quite as pretty as this spot, but this spot is actually listed on Google Maps as a dispersed campsite or wild camping spot, wild camping site. So I can almost guarantee you that this spot gets way more usage than the first spot we were at. So you can see these tracks. So when I got to the end of this road to drive in here, there was a fire and rescue truck pulling a trailer with a bulldozer on the back, and they were just pulling out of here. So then when I got in here parked, that gentleman that followed me in the vehicle, he said, "Man, you're lucky. I've been sitting waiting for them to load that thing for like a half an hour. And they were just pulling away when I was pulling up, so I didn't have to wait at all. I just drove right in here and that guy followed in." But definitely looks like they were up to something. I kind of want to walk up there and investigate, but I also don't really want to go too far from the truck because it looks like just about any minute it could start dumping rain on me. Oh wow, it gets really dark in here. Might be too dark to film anyways at this point. We'll walk up a little ways and see what we can see. Okay, so here's the trail we're on that the bulldozer tracks are on. We just came from this way. There's a trail, a hiking trail that comes down right there and joins up with this. So I'm willing to bet that hiking trail goes back to that that hike-in dispersed site where you're very close to where I'm parked. I'm just very curious what they would have a bulldozer back here for. There's some of the lake down there. Pretty hard to see, but well, my curiosity is louder than my little voice saying, don't go too far from the truck right now, because I kind of just really want to see what's at the end of this road and what in the world they need a big bulldozer back here for. Definitely looks like they're pushing some big rocks and trees out of the way. Okay, they were down in there with it, doing something. It almost looks like they just went in there and drove all over the place. It looks like they just drove all over the place, knocking down all the young trees. Or maybe they're targeting a certain species of tree and knocking it over. See, there's more. I don't know, a lot of them look like little young maple saplings, maple trees. I guess I don't have a ton of knowledge of like forestry practices, but it looks like they just came in here and thinned it. Let me know in the comments, friends, if any of you have an inclination as to what's going on here or the purpose to it. I guess it's not all young maple. I see a clearing up here too. I wonder what that is. Well, I suppose we better go check it out. Then we'll have to head back. Losing light, and we're literally real close to being surrounded by storms. Huh. Well, there you have it, friends. Wonder what this could be. There's the road. If we would have stayed on the road, it would have took us right up here. I wonder if they're not getting ready to log this, maybe. Youch! Ah! That hurt. I just got stung by a bee. I just got stung right there. Lucky for me, I'm not allergic to bees. At least I never have been. Oh my gosh. That hurts. That actually wasn't a bee, I don't think. I think it was some sort of wasp or hornet. So what I was saying, oh, that scared me, friends. I didn't know if it was a snake bite or what. I wonder if they're getting ready to log. Generally, when you log though, you don't destroy all the young trees around it. I mean, kind of the purpose to logging is you take out the big mature trees and give room for the younger ones to take over, basically. The back of my ankle right now, friends, is just throbbing. I couldn't get it off my ankle either. I'm no stranger to bee stings. I've raised bees, honeybees. I've been stung a number of times, and it never gets any funner. But that was definitely not a honeybee. The honeybee would have left its stinger in me, and I'm pretty sure that one stung me 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna guess that was a ground wasp that was upset due to being disturbed from the bulldozer. That is how quick things can turn. Really dangerous though if a person is allergic to bee stings. All right, friends, we're back at the truck. You can see I took the top, popped it down just in case it got windy while we were gone. Oh, check out the sky, friends. Check out the sky. There's definitely stuff moving in. I think I'm just gonna sit here and watch it come in. Whew. My fan just beeped at me for some reason. Well, you're on my phone now, so I'm sure the sound is slightly different, but I got the GoPro out, hoping to catch a time lapse of some clouds coming in. But whew, I'm warm. I got stung by that bee, plus on that walk, I got a little warm. I'm just gonna get set up here, get my PJs on and all that, and we'll see if we can watch this storm come in. Good morning, friends. The storms literally turned into nothing last night. They were bad. And then as they got close, I mean really, until about 20 miles to the west of here, they were bad. And then they just started getting smaller and just dissipated away to nothing. And it maybe only sprinkled maybe, and I'm saying sprinkled, 20 minutes last night. So I'm going to catch up on some computer work here, and then when I'm done with that, we'll head out and see what the day has to offer us. What a beautiful spot. I did step outside this morning just to check out the situation, see if there was anybody up there. Right outside the door there was little frogs hopping around. There was a snake. Tried getting a picture of the snake. Tried getting video of the snake, but the second I started moving towards it, it was super fast. It like whipped around and I'm not even sure where it went. Went into a hole or into a log or something. Also, friends, if you're trying to make out the shirt, it's hard to read for a reason. The shirt says, if you can read this, you're standing too close. Well, friends, I'm going to make a lunch, but as luck would have it, it's still very windy. I wanted to do it over the fire. Might have to come up with a different plan. This wind, friends, is just really something. Well, friends, since having an actual fire would be a little bit dangerous today due to the pretty windy conditions. Like right now it's windy, but then there'll be big gusts that'll come through, and there's just way too many pine needles right here for me to feel comfortable doing that. We'll still do lunch. We'll still do the same thing I was planning on. We'll just do it a little differently. So what we're making here, friends, is I'm gonna make a grilled cheese, and then I'm also gonna make a salad. And then Lauren makes homemade ranch, which is so good. That's good. Starts right up every time, friends. The only thing I'm missing in this salad that would make it just perfect is some dried cranberries and some croutons. I can definitely still feel where I got stung by that bee. I know it probably sounds like I'm being a big baby about it, but like I said, I'm no stranger to getting stung by bees. I keep calling it a bee. It was definitely a wasp. I looked it up and it was a yellow jacket, which is a species of wasp. And that makes sense because they'll make home in the ground, and definitely flew out of the ground and stung my ankle. But something about that wasp sting, I don't know if it was a location. I mean, I've never been stung in the ankle before or what, but man, it hurt worse than a normal sting, and it stayed hurting. It hurt all through the night, and I can still feel it. The sting has kind of gone away, and now it's getting a little itchy, but I would say until about, I don't know, maybe a couple hours ago, it just was painful, stinging. All right. That is done, friends. We'll open it up and let it start cooling down. Well, this has been one amazing sight. I will definitely be back, hopefully next time with a fishing pole. It would be pretty cool to get out on the lake on some sort of vessel as well. But that's for another episode. I gotta head out. I got a long ways home. Thank you for hanging out with me. As always, we'll see you on the next episode.